Hello, hello, hello. It's that wonderful time of the week when we just go over the crazy letters that we have received for this week's What the Fuck Tuesday column. So I have on my Mardi Gras beads from well, I guess it wasn't last year, it must have been the year before. I found them in the closet. It was along with some other colors and stuff. And I'm like, ooh, this will look cute. I'm gonna wear it on the show. So there you go. That's what I got. Mardi Gras beads. Yes. Yes. What the fuck? So this is what we do here. For people who don't know, this show is about live. It's a live stream relationship advice column. And it's a live column because people write in. So they wrote their letters in advance. If you want to submit your letter, look in the show description below. We have a show on Fridays now until June. And so you have two opportunities to get your letter selected for the show. So you have to send it in advance, though. We don't do that here, live. Send in your letter. It can appear in this column. It will be read on the air, and then I answer it off the cuff. My cousin handles that part of it. So all I get is this document that she emails me. I print it out, and I have this handy dandy cover page, so I can't cheat and look at anything. And I don't really want to. I want it to be a surprise. So I think it's better. So this says we have 24 questions today. So you guys ready? Let's go. Let's go. Let's go. Make sure you have your drink and you are comfortable because 24 questions usually take us about an hour and a half, 2 hours. All right, question number one. This is from a young lady in the 18 to 21 age group from Houston, Texas. And she says, Hi, Deb. I am 20. Recently, I had an epiphany that since all my classes are online this semester, I could just leave my house with my laptop and go anywhere I want at any time. So, yesterday, I went to a popular coffee shop in a hip part of downtown where lots of cute college guys go. What a great opportunity to study and scout some eligible bachelors. Within seconds of arriving there, a youngish Caribbean guy, I can tell this is not going to go in a good direction, approaches me halfway into the restroom and says I look familiar from his gym. Asks about my major, etc., then asks for my number, which I give him because he was respectful about it. Now I realize that's weird because I'm not from the area, so how could he recognize me? Also, we wear masks. Exactly. Okay. Today we texted. He asked if I wanted to meet. I had just arrived at a restaurant and told him he could join me. He says he's 5 minutes away. So I go to the restroom to freshen up. When I come out, a much older man of similar complexion approaches me and tries to hug me. He looks maybe 10 or 15 years older than the guy from yesterday, but mentions things from our chat earlier. So that means he's sharing the text chat with this old dude. After a very awkward conversation, he asked me to walk him outside. I say no and immediately feel unsafe because he obviously isn't the same guy I initially met, and he's asking me to leave with him for no reason. No, this is more than a player. So this is a very dangerous situation that she's in. He looks a little rough to fit the restaurant vibe, so everyone is staring at us because I look more put together. It's not just that, I'll tell you in a minute. He tells me I'm being too loud and that we should go back to the original coffee shop where it is dark and you have to park far away. I tell him we will hang out another day, not, and he leaves. This is what happened during my first trip to the city alone. I was instantly targeted by some evildoers. I already filed a police report for a paper trail just in case, but I'm wondering how these people can spot someone and know who will fall for their schemes. I'm a tallish, average, mixed white girl who wears trendy workout clothes just like everyone else. Plus, I had been to the coffee place before with an ex, so I wasn't acting lost. What makes me a target? How can I blend in with the non targeted population? This is bizarre. If you need a pic, I can send one. Thank you and thanks, Candace. Oh, I wish she had I mean, that would have been, well, it's not really necessary, but it would have been, satisfied my curiosity. But this isn't because you are average mixed white or anything. It's because of your age and the fact that you were there by yourself and the fact that you were so friendly and receptive. Let me tell you how that would have went down with your average sister. She going into the coffee shop, right, and here comes somebody chasing her ass to the bathroom. Okay, I got to pee. What are you doing? Okay, so then she would be like, fuck out of here. I'm not interested in talking to you. End of discussion. You see what I mean? So, the fact that you entertained him and you were friendly, and I'm not saying you can't be that way. Please understand what I'm saying. I'm trying to tell you how when you're in certain areas, in certain environments, that's the word I'm looking for, you can't be friendly. You got to keep the mean mug on. Just like they always talk about how black women walk around and we don't smile and stuff like that. This is exactly why we don't do it, because it invites this kind of trash into your world. And the next thing you know, they want to be coming at you with some bullshit. So I'm going to recommend, first of all, that you stay away from this area for at least 6 months, okay, for your own safety. Stay away from this coffee shop. Stay away from anything downtown. Okay, you go somewhere else. You stay in the suburbs or wherever is close by your house. Okay, where you know people, or go to some other area that's a more um, what's the word I want to use? Anyway, you just don't need to go nowhere where some nignogs. That's what I'm gonna say. Now, yeah, this the defensive posture isn't even it. It's just you have to stop. You don't want to look friendly and available and open when you're in an environment like this. That's something that you have to learn to turn on and off. You turn it on when it's a dude that you want to really talk to and get to know, and you turn it off on everybody else. This old man trying to touch you, don't ever let a man get that close to you to touch you like that, because they could inject you with something. Even if they just touch your skin with it, it absorbs through your skin. So, you have to be very careful about that kind of stuff and make sure that you keep these guys, at a distance away from you. Let me see what else he would do. Okay, he's like he recognized you from your gym. You say, "Stop lying. I don't go to no gym around here." And stuff like that. I mean, you got to bust them out right on the spot so they know that you're not the one and that you're not going to be, going for their crappy little stupid games. I'm going to suggest also that you get yourself a Google number. This is something that I tell every single woman that comes to this channel. You get yourself a Google number. You can set them up so that they ring to your phone. So you can have exchanges with people and they will never know that it's not your real phone number. What you don't want to do is keep giving people your number. So what I'm going to suggest you might have to do at this point is change your number, because you don't know what kind of circle these guys are in and who they know and how they're going to be looking for you. Okay? Change your number, do it tomorrow. I don't even think it costs anything these days. And you can give people your number and then set yourself up with a Google phone number as well and have that ring to your phone. Anybody in your dating, on you meet guys out, you meet guys on an online dating site, you meet dudes at a party or a nightclub. You give them that Google phone number and then it'll ring to your phone. You can look at it. And if it's somebody that you want to answer, you pick it up. Otherwise, it will go to voicemail and they will never reach you. Their fingers could fall off and wear off into nubs, and they will still never reach you. Okay? You can even get it for a different area code. I'm just saying, this is some scary stuff. You're right in that age group where they be abducting young ladies and putting them into trafficking situations, and then you would never be seen or heard from again. You stay away from this coffee shop. I don't know. I mean, I know it's cute, and you went there with all these intentions to meet all these cute guys and all this old stuff here. Don't you take your little self over there no more. I'm talking to you like if you were my daughter. Stay the fuck away from that place, because evidently that's a place where they go to prey on their predators hang out there, and you don't need to be nowhere around there until you get your game up a little tighter. They drugged her? Yeah. It's the kind of thing they'll do that, and you're not paying attention. You rifling through your purse, you doing something right. It just takes a second, and they drop something in your coffee. It's a warm beverage, so it's gonna dilute. And a lot of you get that foamy shit with the syrups and the sugary is so sweet. You'll never taste the drug anyway. And a lot of them are tasteless anyway. So you're in just an environment that is very risky for you. So don't go there if you're not going there with some dudes, a couple of other people, so you guys are in a group and unapproachable. Don't go. And that's my last word on that. You guys are young, and these dudes, the predators, are out. It's like by the time a girl turns 12 years old, it's on like Donkey Kong. These dudes are just no joke out here. Okay? So let's move on to question number 2. Thanks, Ken. Question number 2. This is a young lady in the 22 to 26 age group out of the UK. She says, the other day I had an altercation with a girl that slept with my ex. and I ended up hitting her, and we had a fight. I regret it so much. I should have never hit her or even approached her, but I guess I was drunk and being an arsehole, she says. She ended up having a bump on her head, and I wasn't hurt. This girl's from the same town as me, and I am bound to see her out eventually. She has a big group of friends. One of the girls in that group hates me already. The feeling is mutual, and sent me a big paragraph saying, "You're messed with the wrong girls." And another girl in that group is a known fighter and is pretty ruthless, so I've heard. I'm basically just scared. Believe it or not, I hate conflict. I can fight if I have to and have the tendency to go a bit crazy after having a drink and adrenaline, but it's just me against them. I'm worried to see them all out as pubs are now opening up. I'm not going to not go out and enjoy myself, but I'm worried. I've definitely brought this on myself. I don't want to look like a coward or appear scared, but I'm shitting myself. I guess I would just have to fight back if they jumped on me, and I hope it's in a public place. If they did hurt me, I wouldn't get the police involved as I'm the one who started this whole thing. I don't give a fuck. Take your happy little ass over to the police right now and show them that threatening text and tell them what happened. And say, was it just between the two of us women, two girls fighting over a dude, which I know was stupid. But see, that is on her to report to the police. If she didn't do it and report you for assault, then that's too bad, because now the lump's gonna go away and everything, so she won't have any evidence to say, well, neither one of us got hurt, and she wouldn't be able to prove that she did, right? Because she should have filed a police report. You see what I'm saying? So the fact that she didn't do anything, you off the hook on that. The only thing you're gonna have to deal with is these girls. So I would go and file a police report anyway, so that and to give him all their names, and if you know where they live and any phone numbers you put everything in the police report, so that if anything happens to you, they'll go and pick them all up. You see how that works? This is called the preemptive strike. And you're right. You should have kept your hands to yourself. You know what I mean? You should not have done that. You're too old for that stuff. But as one who had several fights when I was in college down in Houston, Texas, with some crazy ass white girls, racist white girls, I can't really say that you ever get too old for it. Because, when people start shit with you, you got to finish it. That's just the way it is. So here I am in my 20s fighting bitches and clubs and stuff on the street in Rice, Texas, and of all places, and in Houston and everything. But I won. That's all that is. That's all that counted. So, yeah, that's what I would suggest that you do. Okay. Yeah, it might be ghetto, but you know what? Sometimes you just got to go there because people. I still had to burn on my arm when that white girl burned me with a cigarette in the club because you could smoke in the clubs down there in them days. She burned me on my arm with that cigarette. I beat her ass. I sure did, and they threw me out the club. But that's all right because I fucked her face up. Now, let's move on to question number 3. Male, 30 to 36 from Ottawa. My fiance and I have been together for 3 years. We also live together along with my 8-year-old son. He's autistic. The biological dad is not in the picture. What? Hmm. As of late, I've noticed some pretty disconnected behaviors from her with respect to my son. It's like she stopped trying. My son has some pretty challenging behaviors that stem from his ASD and ADHD. He's going through precocious puberty and he's super hormonal. I opted to homeschool him in lieu of remote learning. It's been difficult, but academically, he's so much further ahead than his school has recognized. He's very bright, but very rigid. These behaviors are increasing with the whole early onset puberty. No one wants to adjust his medications for ADHD and irritability right now. I agree that it would not serve him well at this point. But I have a real issue with her attitude towards him. She's always following my lead, reinforced my rules, reflected me to me for consequences, etc. She's allowed to discipline with respect to taking away privileges for certain behaviors. We don't use physical punishment in this house at all. Lately, she's been snarky as hell with him. He's 8 and being autistic, he's extremely literal. While I was out in the yard cutting tree branches with my neighbor last night, she was doing his nighttime med routine. I hear him from outside complaining, defiance, and what have you, the typical stuff he does. But when I come in, he's like really beside himself. He says she told him she's going to drop him off in a dangerous neighborhood. I had to him go play on the tablet and asked her just what happened. She said she got frustrated and told him she's going to drop him off back in the Heights, an area where her parents live, where we were earlier in the week, explained to him why he can't do certain things there that he could do at our house because it's not as safe. She tells me she's being sarcastic. I said, I don't care. You don't use sarcasm with kids, particularly one you know is literal. So she apologized. We talked and I asked her, are you really in this? Because it's not the first time I had to say something about sarcasm. We're on the third time in the last few months. She blames it on her job, saying she's not had the time for outings and stuff. I said, you don't need outings. Your only interaction with him should be not be giving him meds and the two of you acting like that. I maintain a house, I homeschool, I do all that stuff. I'm unemployed due to the pandemic, but I have a financial cushion. Huh. So when she comes home, her doing meds with him is my break. Now she wants to do it because he's been increasingly difficult. I said, I'm not surprised when you talk to him, you act like he's an annoyance. Hmm. This is not her first hand in step parenting. She was previously married with two stepkids. She also helped raise her goddaughter, who just died about 3 years ago. She was in her early 20s. I'm not happy if she knows how I am with my son. She seems panicked now. I think she thinks I will leave over there. And yes, I will if this continues. She keeps telling me to try to understand it from her view as a step parent. I don't know how, since I've never been one. While there's room for her to make mistakes, there's no room for this kind of lack of disengagement and minimal interactions that suck. Deb, do you have any suggestions for me? Yes, I do. And I'm gonna tell you this. You're first. Okay. This is the only thing I have to say. All this other shit, who said what medications and all this homeschool stuff, that's irrelevant. That don't have nothing to do with the issue. I don't know why you even included all of that. This is all I have to say to you about that. If it comes down to an issue where you have to pick between your son being this little boy who's only 8 years old, being treated with respect, dignity, and kindness. He's a kid. Yes, he might be, come across as bratty and this and that, but we know why he's like that. I mean, it's beyond his control until he gets a little older and learns, how to control himself better. But 8 year olds, whether they have ADHD or not, struggle with self control. That's just part of who they are. They're little kids, okay? So that part I can't really fault the kid for. I wouldn't like it, but it's something that you just have to deal with as a parent. So if you have a person who refuses to treat your child with those three things, respect, kindness, and dignity, then you have a choice to make. And you're going to have to choose between your kid and this woman. Which will it be? That's it. That's it. That's the bottom line. Everything else you mentioned, all this other shit, step parenting, oh, blame, that don't have nothing to do with the issue, which the core issue here is how is she going to treat this kid? Not everybody's cut out to be, step parent, even parent. Because all these little kids end up in institutions and foster homes because their parents can't handle it. So that's not in itself an unusual thing. Everybody's not cut out to handle that kind of kid. Okay, so you got to understand that. Don't necessarily falter for it. But what I'm saying, hey, thanks, Leandra. You have to take into consideration what I said. You're the parent. Your job is to protect your child under in any circumstances. So you better get on the job and do it. Okay, that's what I got to say. That's it. That's all I got to say. Leandra over there, you know, you need to stop doing that. I don't know. This is just, oof, that's tough. Okay, let's move on to question number 4. We got 24 questions if you just rolled in. 24 lovely questions. Female in the 37 to 45 age group from Bradford, England. I'm in a long distance relationship and my boyfriend is a trucker. We have been in a long distance relationship for 3 years. He is good to me, respectful and loyal, and I maintain healthy boundaries. I've met all of his family and friends, and I have a good, close relationship with his mother. When we are together about 1 or 2 weekends per month, so you might only see this dude, what, like 20 times a year? I cook our meals, do laundry, and give him massages. The eggplant's good too. He takes me out to dinner and or lunch 1 or 2 times during those visits. He pays my cell phone bill and Netflix bill, okay, $12. And he used to fill up my gas tank each time we visited. But recently he says he needs to budget and save his money and he cannot afford the gas this time. He is good to my kids, always buys us presents for holidays, etc. We cannot move in together yet because I need to stay where I am for my children. I'm also not sure I want him living with me. I live in a smallish apartment and I like my time and space. After him saying he can't afford to fill up my gas tank, I am at a standstill and wondering if this is even worth it. He is honest, loyal, respectful. Am I being ungrateful by wanting more than that? I once asked him about buying me a vehicle because mine is so old, and I said I wanted something that was symbolic of him providing and told him it would make me feel secure and better about being totally committed. I explained that any man could take me out to dinner and lunch, and I wanted more from him. So he bought me a new cell phone, and that's when he took over my Netflix bill. Am I crazy for expecting more at this point? We talked about a house in the future. He says he can only afford a house for 150 to $200,000. I have a dream house plan that I'm saving for that would cost about 280 grand. I have 40 grand saved. He has no savings but's working on it. I am so confused. I don't know what to think or do. He truly is a good man. He's been loyal and loved me at my worst. He makes about 80K per year and is twice divorced, so he's kind of kind. So he's starting over, kind of. That's what it says. I'm sorry. His son is grown, about 24, and he's a great father and has a good relationship with his son and his mom. He has a lot of great qualities, but there are also little things that bother me. He is a smoker. He sometimes gets off the road and doesn't shower until the next day. Stuff like that. I am ugh. I feel like I just need to stick it out and just keep doing what I'm doing and not let small stuff or money stuff bother me, I guess. Okay, let me talk about you for a minute. You trying to put all this on him. What's your ass doing with $40,000 in the bank and you don't want to buy your ass a car? That's not his job to buy your ass a car. You got money to buy your own car, buy it. Okay, that is some bullshit right there. Let me just call you out on that. Then the second thing is you like your space and you like your privacy and you like your time to yourself. And you have this relationship for 3 years with somebody that you only see 20 times, 20 to 24 times a year, somewhere in that range, 19 to 24 times per year over a 3 year period. And you call that a relationship. And I suppose for two people who have commitment issues and intimacy issues, that's probably the best that you're gonna get, the best that you two can do for with each other. I'm not faulting it. I'm just saying that you need to accept that that's what it is. That's who you are. You don't really want a committed, close relationship where you have to look at him every day and share space, share bed, and do all this stuff. You don't really want that. That's why you're happy with this kind of situation for 3 years. Think about this and admit it to yourself, okay? Because you trying to flip the script and try to run some game on me or something, and I'm trying to figure out who you think you wrote to. You must have forgot. I thought you was writing Dear Abby or somebody who was stupid. Because I see right through this shit. This is some bullshit. You ain't about to try to be with this man, but you want to, try to set him up where he's feel like he's committed to you, but you not about to give up nothing that you got to be committed with him in a way that would be meaningful to him. So I'm gonna say this: everything that you said about him is meeting your needs, right? The situation, just as it is meeting your needs. He's paying your cell phone bill and your Netflix bill for $12. I just if it means that much to you, I think it's more symbolic than the actual money. But you don't want to live with him. You don't want to buy no house with him. You don't want to really do anything with this man. You just talking shit. So just continue on as you are until the day that you get sick of it, and then or he gets sick of you because he's gonna want something. He's gonna call you on this distance that you're trying to keep, and then you're gonna realize that you're gonna have to make a change, and you're not gonna want to do it. Well, it don't sound like he's really that much of a wallet. I mean, she's cooking, you know what I mean? She's cooking and all that stuff. I mean, that the groceries ain't free. So I mean, she's contributing to his time being there feeding him and stuff, and then he takes her out. So they're about equal on that tip. But that's not, she's not all in his wallet, but paying her cell phone bill. I mean, she was paying it fine before he took it over. So I mean, it's not that she can't afford it. She just don't want to, you know. But I don't know. This is very strange. But if he's happy with it and you happy with it, then I'm happy with it too. Yeah. Netflix is 12 bucks. $12. You can collect that much in cans and pay your Netflix bill. Let's move on. Question number 5. This is a female in the 30 to 35 age group from Columbus, Ohio. When I first met my boyfriend, he lived at home with his dad. My boyfriend's niece was 7 at the time we met. She frequently slept over at their house and would sleep in the same bed as my boyfriend. Wait a minute. Oh, you don't say how old he was. She was 7, but you don't say how old he is. Okay. I found it strange, especially since he sleeps in his underwear. Well, it's over 2.5 years later, and now we live together. Our niece sleeps over pretty frequently. At first, she asked to sleep in the bed with us. It never happened, although she would sleep below our bed on the floor. Typically, now she sleeps on the couch. I went uptown for the weekend to visit some family. My boyfriend stayed home. Our niece slept over. When I got home, I asked him if he had found the extra blankets that I put out for her. He said, "Oh, I just let her sleep in the bed." This child is now 10 and she's beginning to physically mature. Okay, this is not a good look. I'm not concerned in a child services type of way as I know that my boyfriend loves that child and would never in a million years hurt her. You don't know shit. I just feel that it's inappropriate for a grown man to sleep in the same bed as his maturing 10-year-old niece in his underwear. In addition, he still doesn't care if she is naked in front of him. She would take a bath at our house and then walk downstairs butt naked because she doesn't want to get dressed alone. I am very close to her, but she is technically his family, so I don't want to necessarily tell anyone what to do. I feel uncomfortable by it, though. I feel even more uncomfortable by it because it happened when I was out of town. How do I discuss this boundary with both of them? What age do you feel that co-sleeping is inappropriate? At 1. Okay, you asking me, the person that brought her baby home from the hospital to put her in her own bed? Kids don't need to sleep with grown men ever. Okay, that's my take on it. Now, see, especially young dudes, they be getting wood in the middle of the night. And here's a nice warm body. They all sleep because they used to it being you. And then shit's going to happen, right? It's going to be an accident. He didn't mean it. Oh, oh my God. But it's too late. Yeah. Okay. Now this is the thing that's driving me crazy about you. You is one weak ass bitch. Let me just put it bluntly. This is your goddamn house. This is your goddamn house. So you don't this stuff about it's his family and I don't feel comfortable saying anything and all that stuff. You better open your bitch ass mouth and tell that motherfucker something. You tell that little girl and you tell her mother and say, look, bring you better do something with your daughter because she gonna be getting titties and her period and shit and you think she's gonna be sleeping in bed with this motherfucker, that's just not gonna happen. When she comes to my house, she's gonna wear pajamas. She's gonna get changed in the bathroom, and she's gonna sleep in a separate space. She's not sleeping in the bed with a grown man anymore. Okay, you just gonna have to be blunt with them because you're in a family of weirdos. It's his niece. I don't know, that's they do that. I mean, that's fine, I guess, but the main thing is there need to be rules in place about what now you can't make rules for what happens in her house, but you can make rules for everything that goes up under your roof. Okay, because that's your house. So this attitude you have here, where you just gonna let shit happen all around you that makes you uncomfortable in the house where you paying bills and you live, that shit would never go down, not in my house. Soon as I saw some shit like that, I'd be like, look, motherfucker, you don't need to sleep in the bed with no little girl in your drawers or your dick getting hard at night and shit like that. You fucking freak, pervert. I would have talked about his ass so bad and told his sister, you stupid. You have your daughter sleeping in the bed with men like that. What's wrong with you? And stuff like that. This is crazy. I don't understand these people. And he just, lady, you better get your shit together. I don't even understand people. I don't understand this kind of thinking. Where in what universe is this okay? That you just turn your head and be like, oh well, that's his niece, and I just don't feel comfortable saying anything. You're just a dumb bitch. That's what I'm gonna tell you about yourself. You don't have to like it, but then you shouldn't have fucking wrote me this. Because one thing I don't like is shit that goes on with kids. Everybody who comes to this channel knows that's my red button, and you pressed it. And then you sitting up there, don't get an attitude thinking that I'm not gonna say nothing that's gonna hurt your feelings because you are the one adult in this whole circle that has the power to make a change here. And instead you sit there, oh, I don't know what to do. Oh, Question number 6, female, 30 to 35. I'm pissed. Aberdeen, Scotland. Yeah, me too. Just be real in my mind anyway. I'm 33 and I've been with my boyfriend who's 35 for 18 months. He is a wonderful, kind, and loving person. Overall, our relationship is great. I just hope to spend my life with this man. We currently live in a foreign country to our native country, and this is where we met. When we first met, we were both happy. However, over the past 6 months, I have had health and money issues that have made me seriously reconsider building a life in this country long term. I've communicated this to my partner, suggested that we might, within the next year or so, move back to our home country. I have explained to him that I feel we would be they would have better opportunities for work, for buying a house, and a home for building a future there long term. He has been vaguely positive, but admits he's unsure where he wants to settle. He has a good job here, and his father lives nearby. I have no one but him and his father here. The rest of his family and mine live in our native country. He had suggested that he could work remotely and that his company would support him in this, but at this point, it's all conjecture on his part. I work for myself and will be around 20% better off in my home country. My partner is very indecisive about where he wants to be and admits that he doesn't know, while I'm absolutely certain of the trajectory I would like my life to take, ideally back home over the next 3 to 5 years. How do I navigate this with him? How would you suggest that try to resolve an issue of this kind? Any views, opinions, or advice on how to best navigate this issue with him would be very much appreciated. There's no navigation because it's not like you can split yourself and live in two places. And when he's saying that he's not sure, that means he knows he don't want to go, but he's not ready to to tell you that because he doesn't want to break up because you provide him with all kind of creature comforts and he likes you and he likes having you around. So he don't want to give you up. So the best way to do that is to do the stall tactic, right? Because really you're not ready to go yet anyway. You said 3 to 5 years. So I'm going to say this: if you run into all these economic issues and you know the best thing for you as a person, you for your business, you for your future would be to move back to your home country, you pack your shit and you go. And you don't worry about him. Hey Norma, long time no see. Don't worry about him. He's with his daddy. He'll be fine. Okay? You have to worry about yourself. Too many times you see women sacrificing their dreams for a man. And this is not even he's your boyfriend. You only been dealing with him for 18 months. So it's not like y'all have years and years and years under the belt. Or you have all this undying loyalty to him and have kids together and all this old stuff. He's a boyfriend. That's it for not even 2 years yet. And you talking about spending three more before you even move back to your country. No, this ain't gonna work. Make plans to go back to wherever it is you came from and tell him that you're going in 18 months or 2 years or whatever it is, and then go. And if he wants you, he'll follow you there. If not, he'll stay in Scotland and you'll be where your native country is and doing your thing, and you'll meet somebody else and that'll be that. Question number 7, female, 18 to 21, from Bristol, England. So here is the thing. All the men that have ever been romantically interested in me, I'm 21, have always been in committed relationships at the same time. It always starts out by me meeting them through a friend or at a common interest place like work or hobby practice places. This is pre-COVID, such as book clubs, game tournaments, stuff like that. The guy approaches me and we get a good feeling going and we start flirting. And during the talking slash flirting stage, bam, I discover he has a girlfriend already and a long term girlfriend at that. He should absolutely not be flirting with me or talking to me about possibly taking me out on dates and such. As soon as I learn about it, if I discover it soon enough, I try to confront the guy. We fight, but he still tries to get me with oh, but I'm going to break up with her. I don't love her anymore. I'm falling for you now. Say the word and I'll leave her for you. I immediately shut it down, take whatever evidence I have, and talk to the girl he is involved with. Needless to say, at best they cry and I feel awful, or they insult me for trying to steal their boyfriend. I feel even worse. I can't stop feeling like a cheap woman, dirty. I don't know how else to put it. It always happens to me. It's happened 4 times already. I now feel like guys only ever go after me to make me the side chick, the non-serious side piece, the oblivious other woman. I thought about talking about it with my therapist, but I'm scared I'll get judged. It's stupid, I know. I might get judged by you too, but I thought I might try asking another woman who's older since I can't talk to my mom. Auntie, what do I do to stop feeling so awful about myself? I never had a good relationship model in my life before, and I certainly have not have healthy or honest relationship either. My friends say I'll eventually find a good guy, but still, I feel hopeless and horrible, like a horrible person ruining perfectly fine relations. Okay, stop, 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 stop this pity party. First of all, you didn't do this. They approached you. That's the shit that you needed to tell their bitch ass girlfriends talking about you trying to steal my boyfriend. No, your boyfriend has wandering eyes and even worse, wandering feet and a tongue that won't stay in his mouth. He's those talking shit talking about he's about to leave you and all this kind of stuff. What part of that sounds like I'm stealing him? I don't want that piece of trash. He's a cheating, lying hoe. And that's what you got that you over here trying to argue with me about taking from you. I don't want that shit. That's what you were supposed to tell them. Why they trying to make you feel bad like it's your fault that their man is a lying, cheating piece of shit? That's they chose him. And that's what you're supposed to remind him. No, I don't have nothing to do with that. He came and got in my face, and that means that you have a lying piece of shit that you were in love with. That's what that means. Don't be trying to put that shit on me. You're supposed to turn that right around on them. And don't be accepting any blame or responsibility for what a man does or says. Don't ever do that. Even if you're married to him, even if they're your kids, nothing. You don't accept the responsibility for grown men's words or actions. Now that's it's unfortunately someone got in your head and told you that that's that you believe in all this, you're a home wrecker and all this old bullshit like that. As a matter of fact, I have a video on here talking about the home wrecker thing. You can't be a home wrecker, okay? That's impossible. If a guy comes, if you even if you flirt with him, if he decides to go your way, that's a decision that he made, okay? Because he could have said no, but he didn't, okay? That's like somebody offered him a cigarette. No. He only drinks Jack Daniels and somebody offered him some Cavassier. No. I don't want that. Or some tequila. No. Or beer. No. A smoke. No. He only likes to eat, I don't know, chicken and somebody offers him beef. Oh, no. I don't want. They say no a lot to everything else except for some pussy. I said, here they go, trying to, come up on something. So that's their decision. And that's the thing that you young girls need to understand. You don't have no decision, no power there. That's not you. That's them. So and you also have to look at this, and this is my favorite thing to tell people now when I'm doing my little presentations and whatnot. Let's reframe this. Let's reframe this. And that really seems to work with a lot of people because they have tunnel vision. They only see things one way. So if you, by reframing this situation, you can see you're saying, well, they only want to approach me to be the side chick. What do you think that chick is that he's getting cheated on? You say they're in a committed relationship. Who is in a committed relationship who's always out trying to tap on somebody else's booty? He's not committed to her either. Okay, he's not committed to anyone but himself and his dick. That's where his commitment lies. So you're sitting there feeling all bad about yourself because you don't have a relationship. Why would you want one with these tawdry pieces of shit men? They don't know how to act. They don't respect women and they don't have any kind of loyalty to you. So, in all actuality, they have it worse than you do because they're stuck with this fool until they wake up. Whereas you dodged a bullet and got away from him. As soon as you found out he was in a quote committed relationship. So, reframe the situation. See how I did that? And so now you're like, oh, that's true. I should be happy because I'm not miserable in a relationship with a cheating, lying fool. Okay? I'm trying to say, honey, reframing that. I'm telling you, that's my bomb thing now. I just be reframing all up and down the street. Yeah, I don't know these dudes. They not worth having. They not worth calling a girlfriend about, and they definitely not willing to argue with some other woman about. Because any woman told me I used to tell my husband, if some woman decides that she wants you, and it looks like that's the direction you want to go, I'm gonna tell her she can have you. And he's like, "What? You wouldn't fight me?" I'm like, "Hell no. What am I look like?" It's like all this fineness. I could turn around and have 10 niggas up in here the next day. So I'm not gonna worry about that. Yeah, I love you, but I love myself more and I will always love Deb and numero uno. I straight told him. He was just like, what? Looking at me all kind of crazy, like you talking crazy. But I'm like, I'm not gonna do that. I'm not. I will never demean myself in such a way to try to fight over a man. Any woman who says she wants you, I'll say, there he is. Get him. Take him. Let's see if he'll go with you. That's the bottom line. Is he going to go with her? I'm not going to stop a man from doing what he want to do. I'm not even going to try. I'm going to just sit there and watch you, and then you want me to help you pack, I'll do it because it'll make you get out of here faster. versus me waiting for you to do it. Oh, always. I put myself so first, man. I'm telling you, don't let me be on a sinking ship like the Titanic. I'll be on a lifeboat by my damn self. While everybody else is trying to fight and figure out how to get out, or Dad will lower the shit down and jump in it and be like, "Hasta la vista, baby," and be gone. Mm-mm. Anyway, let's move on to question number 8. This is a female in the 55 to 60 age group from Mount Vernon, New York. She says, in December, my boyfriend FaceTimed me wearing a French maid outfit. Wait, it's one in every column. Okay. She in the 55 to 60 age group. Okay, so how old is this man wearing a French maid outfit? I can't wait to see. I know she had to say it. Okay, he was made up in stockings and suspenders and a wig. He then uh pleasured himself. I had no idea when we made Whoopi, he was in full drag and he has FaceTimed me several times since in drag. I've tried telling him that I prefer him out of drag, and he always says he's going to throw the stuff away, and he only does it for me. Last week he FaceTimed again with a new purchase of a breastplate with realistic looking boobs. You know, okay. I don't like it. I just want to cry when I see him, especially when he wants us both to give a man a BJ. He's 52. Where will it end? Is he gay? Can he control it or will it start to take over more of his life? If the relationship was good, then I could support him. But the relationship was awful before this. His mood swings, obsession with his ex, and before lockdown, we saw each other once a month. Deb, I'm 58. I wanted a proper relationship where we spent time together, met family and friends, traveled, etc., like a normal, mature couple. It seems we're totally incompatible, and yet I don't want him to think I'm rejecting him because of drag. Why not? Okay, you need to channel your inner Deb. Okay, first of all, first let's rewind. Let's go back to the beginning. I'm waiting to go to bed with my man, and he comes in dressed up in drag. Guess what would happen? Deb would be like, "Oh, hell to the no." I'd be channeling my inner Whitney Houston and get up, get my stuff, and be gone. Over the shoulders, deuces, and he would never see me again. One thing I don't do is freaky weird old people. I just don't. I can't. I'm not into all of that weird stuff like that. That's just not, not my thing. Okay. Other me people might like it, but that's not me. Okay, so if that's where you went wrong, because that's where he came in from the left field, and you were supposed to go out the right door and just leave him there. That's but you didn't do it, and you participated in the foolishness. Now, why did you do that? I don't know. Maybe just so you could have something to talk about. That might be just something just to do it so I could get on here and say, honey, girlfriends, let me tell you what happened. Let me tell you about this fool right here. And just have gossip for the next 10 years talking about that dude. That would be one way to do it. But I would be so turned off I wouldn't be able to do it. And then he FaceTimes you dressed like that. You want to cry when you see it, and he wants to pretend like he's a woman and do this with a man. I don't know what's going on with dude. He is way old for all of this crazy. But if it were I would block his number. I would block him from my world, and I would go on with my life and find someone who was normal. Because he's not normal. There's something wrong with him. Yeah, she might be concerned because of their age, but she just says right here, she wanted a proper relationship. Okay, it's obvious that that's not this ain't that dude. Okay, so you 58, are you gonna wait till you 65? 58, you can still pop it, so you better get your butt together, girl, and get out there and find you somebody else. And that's what my thing, you 58, you should probably get you a man about 47, 48. That would be your best bet. Somebody who's still young enough to still put it down without needing Viagra or weird things like that to stimulate himself. I don't know what I would do. I would just be done with him. I couldn't. All I would have to do is see that, and that would be the end of it. I'd be looking at my phone. I'd be looking, and then I probably would, just to fuck with him, say, twirl, twirl, send me a selfie and stuff like that so I could put it on my Facebook page and clown him. Who somebody saying is I'm homophobic? You know what? I don't give a fuck what they say. Because my thing is this: any man who wants to dress like a woman, act like a woman, pretend he's a woman is not the man for me. So if people want to say, well, you're homophobic, that's fucking right. You just have it, say it until your tongue falls out. I don't care. I have plenty of friends who are gay and lesbian, but you know what? I'm not sleeping with them. Okay? We have boundaries in our relationship. So you got a man that's, last week you was dressing regular and looking like a dude, and now all of a sudden you coming here with lipstick and a wig on and a breastplate, and I'm supposed to be okay with that? No, I'm not. So you want to say I'm homophobic or whatever the fuck you want to say, you just say it until you feel better. But it's not gonna change nothing because I'm still not gonna fuck with you, and that's just the way it is. People could call me all kind of names. I don't give a fuck. You do. That's not gonna change shit here. Question number 10. This is a male in the 22 to 26 age group from Charlotte, North. Oh, wait, I skipped one. I skipped question number 9. Okay. Female, 25 to 29 from Newark, New Jersey. My boyfriend just started a new job. For reference, he's black, I'm white. His trainer is an off and on again single, not single black woman. She also gives him rides to and from work. I want to trust him, so I'm okay with it. Hmm. However, he came home yesterday and told me that he, quote, needs that type of person in his life because she's like him culturally. And when they talk, they get each other because how she talks is more familiar to him than me. He then started comparing her to me in the sense that I'm emotional, but she says it like it is. I do too, though. He said he sees her like his cousin or like a sister. He told me before he'd keep his words with her professional and only about work. But this morning he said he may ask relationship advice about us from her someday. We agreed not to ask other people in our personal lives for advice. He said before that other people aren't me and he'd rather talk to me. But now he's backtracking. He said this after I said I was afraid of him getting too close to her. He said he may get close to her. Hmm. He also started suggesting she give him all his rides that she can. Specifically, he said that she could in the morning too, but he knows full well that I can. He also asked for her number but claimed he'd only text about work. That was before his comments this morning, but said they talk about all kinds of things at work and in the car. Also, he slipped up last night and said, if you want me to be loyal to you, stop doubting me. He said he didn't mean that in the sense he's going to cheat. He said he meant he's already loyal to me, so don't need to doubt it. But Freudian slip? I don't know. He fell fast for me in the beginning, and it seems he's moving fast here about her when she's just his trainer. I told him when he said he needed her that it made me feel uncomfortable and inadequate. He didn't seem to get it. He said I'm enough for him. But why is he saying all this other stuff then? Should I be worried? What's really going on in his mind about her? No, you don't need to be worried, but what you need to start doing is finding you a place to move if you're all living together. That's what you need. Okay, first of all, you have a Dusty. Why this motherfucker don't have his own car? He's over here hitching rides like a damn hobo, like somebody's his chauffeur. He driving Miss Daisy. What kind of man is this? Depending on women to drive him everywhere. Okay, number one, Dusty. Okay, let's start there. Then I'm gonna tell y'all something because I knew this girl, and well, it was like a group of white girls that all had black boyfriends and husbands and stuff. And I was the only, black female in this group. I knew the guys; they were my brothers, frat brothers. So I'd hang out with them and stuff. They was cool. I mean, I had no problem with it. But one day we got to talking about relationships, and they all 6 of them admitted to me that their number one worry was that their man would be attracted to a black woman and leave them. And I was like, really? Because, see, from a black one, what we see online all the time, right, is the black women say that these men who go for these women of other ethnicities prefer them to black women. So we never think about them coming back, swinging back our way. To us, they're written off and it's a lost cause. We don't think about them anymore. But, they said that. And I thought that was the most interesting thing. So we talked about it, for a while, and I was trying to explore where their feelings came from and why they felt so threatened. And it was a lot of this because they felt like because they were raised so differently and their language was different. The food, everything was so different that the guys weren't as comfortable as they might be with someone who was black. And I'm like, well, a lot of that is just socioeconomic and cultural, because it's the black folks, trust me, that would just, oh my God, and they're the Jack and Jill set. You know what I mean? They're very different. They're more like white people than black people. So it just depends on what what you're around. But I thought it was very interesting. So this is what you're experiencing, what you were said they were afraid of is what you're experiencing, where he's saying that he feels like, they have more in common. She understands him better. They communicate better. And, the vibe is right. She, quote, gets him. So what I'm going to tell you is this is not the kind of thing that you worry about, though. You don't worry about what a man does. You don't never worry about a man. What you do is tell him, look, you talking about this bitch way too much, and I am not feeling it. So this is the kind of shit that I don't want to be bothered with and I don't want to put up with. I don't want to have my man's attention and emotions divided between two people. So guess what I'm gonna do? I'm gonna pack my shit and I'm out. So you can go right around with that bitch and do everything else you want to do with that hoe, because I'm done. That's what you need to do. You need to, you know, get your courage up and stuff. He ain't the only man in the world. And if you want to deal with a black man, you could get one that's better than him, one that at least got a car. This is just a dusty bum, hitching rides and stuff. Get that motherfucker a bus pass and sit him on his way. This is just ridiculous. Newark, New Jersey. You know he's a New York Dusty. Let's move on. Now we're at question number 10. Male, 22 to 26, from Charlotte, North Carolina. Serious relationship advice needed here. My girlfriend and I, 22 and 23, moved in together a couple of months ago. We moved into an apartment that she used to live in with her family, as her family moved to a different state and left a place to her. Long story short, there seems to have been some unpaid balance for this apartment from her mom's time living here. My girlfriend had to take full responsibility of it because her mom said it was her fault the balance was there. I haven't been helping with that balance because, besides the rent I've been putting my in for, but the balance I have not touched because I do not feel it's on me. I was not living in this house at the time that was created. Anyway, fast forward to today, and her mother is visiting and asked me why I haven't been helping with the balance. And I very honestly told her mother that I did not feel like that balance was my responsibility and had other finances to worry about as well. I didn't think I should be paying that. Both my girlfriend and her mother proceeded to get mad at me, calling me disrespectful and not a man for stepping up and helping her with that. I didn't find that what I said to be disrespectful, as I was speaking from my perspective. Was I wrong for saying this to her mother? Am I wrong for not helping her pay? Nope. Not at all. They was hoping you would, and they trying to guilt trip and manipulate you into it. But guess what? You stand strong and say, no, hell no. Hell to the no. All the no's, all the, F no, all of those no's. You continue to say that because this is a bill that they made before probably she even met you. Okay, so why they think you should be coming in and trying to pay it is pretty amazing to me. Now, if they don't like that and they want to keep talking shit about it, you can say, well, how about then that I move out and get my own place and then y'all can pay all of the bills, the past, the current, and the future all by yourself. How about we do that and see if they pipe down? See, because right now they thinking they gonna, do something, but you got the ultimate trump card because you ain't married to the bitch and you can pack your shit and be gone in 5 minutes. Oh, that's why I love living with people instead of being married to them. So you can do that. You can just wake up in the morning and say, oh, look at this. It's such a beautiful sunny day. I think I want to get my own place. And then you go out and you get it. You write that check, put your deposit down and call up some movers and say, come tomorrow and pick up my things, please. And they'll come and they'll box up all your little stuff for you and you write them that check. And then you move to your new place. And within 24, 48 hours, you're done. That's what's great about when you live with somebody. You don't owe them nothing. Okay? You can do that. Yes, honey, gonna conjugate that no. You are exactly right. So I'm just like, this is just stupid. I don't understand why they think that you should come in and try to clean up a mess that they made. So remember that. This is what I'm saying. You're going to sit there, you're going to be calm and cool and collected with your legs crossed. Sit back like the Mac or somebody. Just sitting there, just lean back and turn your head from the side to the side while you listen to their bullshit. And then you say, okay, well, I have a solution. This is my solution. This is my idea right here. How about we do this? I'm going to go in there, I'm going to get my stuff, and I'm going to pack my stuff, and I'm going to leave. And so you can pay that past money, you can pay the current money, and you can pay any future money too, all by yourselves. Let's do that. And let's see what they say. Please write me and tell me what how their face cracked because I'm so nosy. I so want to see it. Yes, freedom, like they say in that movie. Amistad. Freedom! Freedom! Yeah. You good because I would have left right then. I don't know. I'm just not taking, I just don't feel like it. That's why I live by myself. I'm just too. Yes, that's right. That's right, Faith. With my little Mardi Gras beads. These are not pearls. These are Mardi Gras beads. They probably cost 50 cents. Anyway, let's move on to question number 11. We got 24 questions today. If you just happen to wander in, 24 questions in the advice column today. This is What the Fuck Tuesday. And as you can see, for those who've been here from the beginning, we've been saying what the fuck. We already said about 10 times. So here we go. Question 11. Female 26 to 29 from Memphis. I'm looking for some advice with regards to my grandparents. Hmm. 10 years ago, I cut contact with my parents and I never looked back. I moved away from my hometown to a new area and started from scratch. I got a new job, I made new friends, and I got together with a partner who made my parents had previously disappeared, approved of for silly, superstitious reasons. None of it was easy, but I've always believed I did the right thing. I am now very content with my life and what I have achieved, and with 4 children. Ooh, honey, you done popped out hella babies. With 4 children, I have never been busier. I learned to accept the childhood that I had and the type of people that my parents were. What I did shocked my whole family, and as a result, no one on my mother's side talks to me. In the 10 years, my parents have never reached out to me, not even when I had kids. I really believe they never cared. I have a sister who's a lot younger than me, and she does seem to care. When she started university, she made contact with me, but she doesn't seem to have any issue with her parents or none that she's told me about. My paternal grandparents do talk to me. They don't live near me, but they have given me support when I've needed in the past. They take interest in my partner and children. We talk often and exchange emails and photos. In the beginning, they used to talk about my parents a lot. It got to be too much, so I asked them to stop. They did for a number of years. However, recently they started up again, informing me with what my parents have been doing or their health. They also dropped one-liners such as, I hope you talk to your parents soon, or this has gone on for long enough now. They don't wait for my response and change the topic of conversation very quickly. At the start of this week, my grandpa wanted to send me a photo of my parents' dog in a party hat that he thought was funny and asked if he could email it to me. I said no. I didn't want to see the photo. His response was a big sigh, and he said, well, please talk to them. I'm getting old and I worry. Before he could change the topic, I told him I was happy. I would be unhappy if I got in contact with them, and I appreciated if he and my grandma would stop talking about them. The call ended very quickly after that. In the last few days, my grandma has told me that my parents do love me despite their faults, pleading with me to talk to them. My father's brother has been in contact to say my grandpa is deeply concerned about this situation. My cousin has emailed me. Wow, they are really ganging up on you. To email me concern for my welfare. I'm starting to feel a mixture of emotions, really guilt, doubt, and anger. I appreciate this is not easy for my grandparents, but it's been 10 years. Why are they overreacting now? Today I would call them, but I don't feel inclined to. What can I do? What do you do when people turn on you like this? Why are they putting so much pressure on me? If you could share some light that might help me move forward, I'd be so grateful. That means your parents have been all up in their ear trying to convince them to, help us get her to talk to us, okay? So what you have to do, see, my thing is when my family, if I tell them what my boundary is and they cross it, okay, all bets are off. Any respect that you would have gotten because you was my seniors, elders, and all that stuff, all that goes just went up in smoke. So when my grandparents called me back talking some shit about them, they would have become every kind of bitch ass motherfucker I could have thought of. Didn't I tell you I don't want to talk to about the raggedy motherfuckers? Why do you keep calling me with this bullshit? You're totally disrespecting me, Grandpa. I don't like it. If that's the best you can do, stay off my goddamn phone. Don't call me no more. I don't have shit to say to you about them motherfuckers. They're trifling. I ain't talked to them in 10 years. Have they called my phone? Send me a letter, a smoke part, a carrier pigeon, a smoke signal, a message in a bottle. They didn't do shit. But you want me to do the work to reach out to them? They're the parents. If anybody's gonna be making amends, it should be them. So don't come at me like this. Don't. Yeah, but they're trying to work on her. They're ganging up on her. And so it's like it's gonna be four, five, 10 of them, and it's just one of her. I'm glad you wrote. And listen to this part over and over, and you better practice saying it so that when each the uncle calls, cuss his ass out. The grandma calls, cuss her bitch ass out. The grandfather calls, cuss his bitch ass. See, they need to understand how serious you are. That it's like, I've been nice to you all this time, but the niceness is over. So now I'm gonna treat you just like you some motherfucker on the street because that's how you treat me. So don't be mad that you get back what you dishing out. You disrespecting me. I told you I don't want to be bothered with them. My life is good and happy. You lucky I was letting you be a part of it. You keep this shit up, I'll cut you loose too. See? All of that. And then, let them have that to talk about and run and take that back to your raggedy ass parents. Because I'm thinking, it's been 10 years and your parents haven't reached out to you in all that time, but yet everybody wants you to be the one to reach out to them. Don't you dare. And don't you feel guilty about it either. You cut the motherfuckers off, cuss them all out first. And then if you have to, yeah, you can block and block them too on your phone so they can't call you no more. And put them on a timeout. That's what I call it. Put them on a timeout. Just stupid. Anyway, that's my suggestion. I'm telling you, rewind this part and listen to it over and over and get your courage up so when they call you with this bullshit again, you can blow their hair back. Question number 12, that wind tunnel effect. That's how hard you need to be cussing them out. Okay, question 12, female 30 to 35 from Canterbury, England. Hi, Deb. I hope you can help me figure this out. I've been with my partner for 13 years. We have 3 kids. I'm so confused if I'm being mostly abused or if I'm overthinking. Maybe I think I am overthinking because I am abused. Poor thing. I don't know. My mind is all over the place. I really would appreciate an outside perspective. So when we met, it was amazing. Yes, the wind tunnel effect, Lee. It was amazing. Both of us totally in love. We couldn't be without each other, seriously. Constant text, calling, seeing each other. Would fall asleep in the early hours chatting because we couldn't put the phone down. These days, and for a good 2 years, he is very, I don't know, mean. If I ever bring anything up he doesn't want to discuss, he loses his temper, shouts at me. He would say putting his point across, but he shouts and insults me over and over. I rarely bite and shout back, but I do sometimes. That just makes it worse, obviously. Everything is my fault. I point out and stick up for myself, and he says his behavior is my fault. I pushed him to do it. Oh, look at him, little gaslighter dude. I think I am a reasonable person and open-minded. I always try to see his point of view. It's like three is a block, and he is mentally unable to see mine. Oh, I think she means it's like there is a block. For instance, last night I found out he received a payout from HMRC. Anybody in the UK know what that is? HMRC in January didn't tell me and spent it on bits and bobs. Also found out he put 900 pounds into ERP. I don't know what any of this is, which I don't really understand, but lied to my face saying it was 100 pounds the day before and again last night he decided to tell me the truth. I didn't say a word. He then went mad, moody, shouting, name calling, etc. Sorry, I can't explain myself or everything that goes on, but what do you think? Also, he doesn't do the shouting all the time. He is usually very loving. It's around once a month. He'll blow up, punch walls, insults. His behavior is my fault. Doesn't come to bed with me ever. I spend my life cleaning, wife working from home, cooking, washing with no recognition. Doesn't help with anything at all apart from cleaning up after tea. It's my job because he works more hours than me. That pisses me off, but maybe he is right. My mind is all over the place. I don't know what to do. Girl, you losing your mind. First of all, when you work from home and you taking care of the house, the hours that you put in are triple what he puts in on a little Mickey Mouse job. When you're at home and working that's the hardest job I've ever had when I stayed at home for that 6 month maternity leave I had. I couldn't wait to go back to work. I broke out of there like I was breaking out of Sing Sing and got in that on that BART and went to San Francisco to my job. It just happy, happy, happy to be away from that screaming baby. But this thing here, see, I'm a firm believer in mirroring. So when he got to acting a fool and punching walls and stuff, I would have started throwing shit and punching holes in the wall too. And when he wanted to rant and rave and call names, oh, let me call you some choice ones, mister. Okay, you know what I mean? You can look online and find it. You can look at any of my videos. I use a whole bunch of adjectives to call people everything other than their name. And you can just channel that. But see, that's how I do. You say it makes it worse, but it's the only worse is what you're feeling. He feels fine. So if anybody's gonna be bad, it should be both of you, or it should be neither one of you. So he shouldn't be the only one feeling good while you're feeling miserable. Oh no, 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 no. You need to rear back and call him all kind of names and tell him about himself. And then, you find he's sneaking money, he's hiding money from you, and he's just demeaning you and all this stuff. And I'm wondering, he doesn't sleep with you. What is it that you're thinking you're getting out of this situation? Why are you still there? Is my big question to you. You said this has been going on for several years, right? It's not like this is a new thing. He's been doing this for a long time, and yet you stay with him. And I'm wondering why. You might want to think about that, okay? Because there's no reason for you to stay in a situation where someone's hiding money from you, demeaning you, degrading you, calling you names, and acting violent, scaring you, scaring the children. I mean, everything about this situation sounds like he's a nut. And so I personally would be packing my stuff and packing up my kids and consulting an attorney and getting the fuck up out of there. And you keep saying, wait, did you say husband or partner? Let me see. Partners. Yeah, so see, you're not even married. Psst, girl, get out of there and leave that fool. Question number 13. He got kids, he'll be paying child support. You got a job, you'll be all right. Question 13. Female, 36 to 40, St. Joseph's, Missouri. St. Joseph. I'm a 34-year-old mother of two. I got divorced in 2019 from a narcissistic, alcoholic husband after 9 years. Shortly after the divorce, I was more free. It was more freeing for me than traumatic. I met my current boyfriend. We dated casually but monogamously for a year before deciding to move in together. My children are 5 and 3, and the transition was easy. They truly enjoy having him around. They even call him dad by accident on occasion. We have lived together for about a year now. He's also divorced and had a rough marriage as well. My concern is that I am creeping up in age and would like to have another baby before it's too late. I want to share this experience with him, someone who loves and respects me. To have a child between us that is both of ours would make me feel like our family is complete. Hmm. Okay. We are both hesitant to get married because of past experiences. Still, we have a strong relationship with open communication, both do our part to keep the household going. Is 2 years enough time to pass to get married or think about having a baby? If I were younger, time would not be an issue, but as my fertility will likely decline in the next several years, I'm afraid that waiting will make it too no longer an option. Any advice is appreciated. My thing is this: motherfuckers who ain't too scared to have a baby should never be too scared to get married. Okay? A kid is a lifetime commitment. A marriage, you could be in and out of it in a year or so. So, what's the big deal? That to me is an excuse. Don't you dare be setting up here to having some baby mama situation because you desperate to breed. That would be stupid. So tell him if he wants, he want to have a baby that y'all need to get married. And that's just the way it is. She only has two. That's not too many. She only has two. But, some people just like to have, 3 or 4 kids. I don't know. They just love that shit. One was plenty. Okay. One is plenty to me. But, she ain't me. So she want to have another one before she gets too old. That's my take on it. If he wants to be somebody's daddy, he need to be married. So don't give him the benefits of the kid without the marriage. Okay? Don't. Don't do it. You'll be sorry. Question number 14, female 18 to 21 from Southern California, it says. I moved in with my mother to help out when COVID hit and have been close with my mom since my dad died. I'm terrified of missing out on time with her like I did with him. But I'm sick and tired of how her husband acts and how she doesn't get it. She's Asian and her husband is white, and she doesn't get how racist and manipulative he is or writes things off as cultural differences. When he throws a tantrum, which he does often, she chalks it up to his age. Her husband acts actively competes with me for her attention and turns everything into a competition. Wow. She also listens to me until I say something she doesn't like or agree with, and then she asks him instead, but she'll take his final answer. Today she had big news and called me first. A few minutes later, her husband comes out talking on the phone with her, and she tells him. He asked if she called me, and I caught myself lying, saying she just texted me to avoid drama. I'm so disgusted with myself because I feel like his manipulations and tantrums are impacting me. I don't have a driver's license. I'm a student, and I'm living off paying for school with savings while I apply for remote positions. I don't think this environment is very healthy for me. Thanks, Michelle. I've laid out her husband's behavior for her and she doesn't care, so I think moving is the best thing to do. What do I need to be independent without oversights? Like completely. How much money should I have saved up? What should I buy? Example, a car, etc. I'm planning on working remotely and I'm looking for small, affordable towns to live in until school starts. COVID has really scared me and I don't want to have any oversights against girl because I didn't think of something. Girl, that answer is in itself is too long for this column, but I'll tell you what, just look in the newspaper and look and see how, or online, whatever they do, there's rental sites, and see how much, like you don't really need a studio apartment, it's just going to be you. A nice studio apartment in a, decent neighborhood, and how much that's going to cost per month. How much they want first, security, all the stuff. Look at that. See how much money you're going to need to give up front for that. Um, do you need a car right off? No, but what you want to do is find a place near public transportation so you can get, to and fro wherever you need to go pretty easily. If you move into a neighborhood that has a walking grocery store and walking distance and all that, then you can get you one of the little old lady buggies for your groceries, or you can have your groceries delivered. Works for millions of people. And, so think about, utilities that you're going to have to pay and how much transportation is going to cost. Factor in your, tuition and stuff. Factor in what you need for groceries, all that kind of stuff, what you might want to spend on clothes and entertainment. Make a line by line budget. I'm sure you know how to use Excel. And then you add all that up, and that's how much money you're going to need to move out. And then you figure out how much you're going to need every month. And then you got to figure out how many jobs you're going to have to make that happen, Miss Student. So it's not hard, but you're going to have to do some research. And that's the main thing. But don't invest in a car. That's a cash cow eater. That just eats up money. Not only with the car payments, insurance, the gas, the repairs. I mean, it's a money pit for someone who doesn't really have any yet. So you're going to move and you don't worry about that. If you need to get a bicycle or something like that, you know. My daughter well, I don't know, she might drive now. I haven't really talked to her, but she always rode a bicycle. She had a really nice bicycle we bought her. That thing cost like $500, and she ride that thing everywhere, and she would be gone. She would be like, shoo. It was very light, and so she would, she'd get to where she was trying to go in record time, faster than the cars could, because we had to keep stopping. She'd shoot through the cars and going about her business. So that's one way to do it. If you have something that you have to kind of go a distance, you might want to invest in a bicycle. Get you a nice helmet. You'll be all right. Question number 15 of 24. Yeah, DoorDash. I'm not doing DoorDash. They cost too much now. Female, 30 to 35, Greenville, South Carolina. The whole time my boyfriend and I were together, he accused me of messing around with random men, even men who I barely know and think aren't attractive. He has schizophrenia. So he would think of all kinds of scenarios in his head that I'm doing when the whole time I'm with my family at home. He would say nasty things to me, call me derogatory names, believe that I cheated. He alienated me from so many people by moving me to another state with him and refusing to see my family. He'd make a big deal if a man walked by us in the store and spoke to us to be friendly, and I spoke back. He'd say, "Why did you talk to him?" He would also show up when he knew I was working with a man at the store. He would call in and accuse us of doing something. Wow. When I was with him, I felt like I was walking on eggshells to keep from upsetting him. I would avoid talking to or looking at men around him out of fear of him accusing me of flirting. The final straw for me this time was when we were on the phone and he heard a man's voice that I didn't hear. He argued with me up and down if there was a man at my house when it was only mom and me there. He was yelling at me on the phone, calling me terrible names, so I hung up. We didn't talk for a whole day. He messaged me yesterday asking if I have his game, and I don't. I told him to leave me alone. Then he wanted to carry on about the imaginary man being in my house, so I told him I was blocking him and I deserved the treatment when I know that I didn't do anything. I love him, but I can't live like this anymore. I never cheated, so why is he punishing me for something I didn't do? I feel like all that he's put me through really has done something to me mentally and emotionally. I don't think I want to get into another relationship after dealing with all this nonsense. Okay, I'm not hearing a question here, but I'm seeing where you finally woke up and realized, okay, this is for the future. And anyone listening to this, if you have a man and he ever accuses you of messing around with dudes, dump him immediately. Immediately. Don't say thank you, goodbye, nothing. Just say, oh, this shit here is over. Okay, you know you didn't do nothing, and you're gonna instead. But so many women do they want to save the relationship, right? You don't save this shit here because it's not worth saving. That is a piece of shit man, and he's gonna drag you through the mud and make you just feel crazy, break you down and tear up your self esteem until there's nothing left. You listen to me, and if you have a man who treats you like this, he calls you the first name, he accuses you of cheating. He does anything that makes you feel uncomfortable. He says anything that hurts your feelings. He calls you any kind of horrible names and all this kind of stuff like that. Anything that she listed on this thing. One time, the first time, you get rid of them. See, then you don't get stuck in a situation like this. See, so she stayed with him, trying to save it, thinking he was, that her love was going to be enough to make him be different. It's never enough. He's crazy. Then she said he got schizophrenia too. You know, I don't know these dudes. I can't with them. Soon as they say one thing snarky to me, I just lose my mind. I remember this dude I went out with when I was writing my book on the black church, right? And I was interviewing people for that book. I took interviews and stuff for people, called them on the phone and stuff, and talked to people all over the country for months while I was doing that book. So I meet him. He's reading the first, an early draft. He want to see what it was, and this is what he says to me. Nothing like, "Oh, this is interesting." Wow, this is a lot of work you put. I mean, something neutral. You don't have to praise it, but just a comment that's neutral. He says, "Well, I don't know nobody who went to a church like that with this thing. Like I'm, the implication that I'm making this all up, and that these people are all liars, and that they didn't have these experiences." Because he didn't know anybody that had them and he didn't have them. We was in a restaurant. I stood up, I got snatched my shit out of his hand, put it in my tote bag. I said, just because and I was loud and I did not give a fuck. I said, just because you go to some little raggedy ass ghetto church and hang out in the hood all the time, where your people can barely read and write, you got a GED, doesn't mean that the rest of the world is like that. Okay, expand your fucking ghetto ass horizons, motherfucker. And then I got up and got in my car and left, and I have not talked to that motherfucker since. But see, that's what I say. You get one time to clown me. One time. The first time. And I know, other people are like, he didn't even understand what he did. I said, it don't matter what he understood. I understood it. And I'm the one who's not going to take it. You're not going to throw no shade at me about nothing. No shade to the people I'm interviewing. No shade to the people who bared their souls and told me about all the hurts and the agony and the molestations and all the stuff they endured in these churches all over the country. You're not going to tell me that their stories are not valid, and I'm supposed to be paying more attention to what your fucking ass talks about than what these people telling me their real stories. This shit happened when they were little kids and stuff. Oh yeah, I told him about himself and his raggedy ghetto ass hood rat ghetto jailbird ass friends, his fat disease carrying uncle with diabetes in a wheel. I said all kind of foul shit. I just said all kind of stuff that I probably shouldn't have said, but she made me mad. And when I get mad and I feel like I'm being attacked, all kinds of things will flow from my mouth. Don't do that. And we was in a pub, like I said, we was in a restaurant. And I stood up and I did it loud right at the table, and I didn't give a fuck. And then I just left. He was so stunned. I could just see his face. He was just sitting there like, what's happening? Why is this happening? But I didn't care. I did not care. I'm not gonna take that. So when I see girls in a situation like this that take month after month after month after month of being berated and being isolated and accused of things and browbeaten and beat down and talked about like they have a tail, called names, all kind of violent things happening to them, and it's not to mention the ones who want to put their hands on people. It really, I just want you guys to understand the first time that these guys approach you like that, the first time they say something that hurts the feeling, the first time that they call you a name, the first time they accuse you of something, the first time they accuse you of lying, the first time you feel upset and feel like you have to walk on eggshells around them, get out. Leave them alone. You don't give them a second time to do that to you. Okay? Love yourself first. Love yourself more. Love yourself always. And take care of yourself and leave him to do whatever he's going to do. You don't have to be there to listen to it and take it. Shit, he ain't doing shit for you. I'm like, motherfuckers, I don't see no millions of dollars in my bank account from fucking with you. So there's evidently no benefit to it. So I'm out. I mean, if you break me off about 5 mil, I might stay there and let you say a few thick choice words while I count my money. But after I, count it a couple of times, I'ma still lose interest. Be like me and Leandra going to the Bahamas and Fiji and shit with the money we just got. These clowns. Let's move on. Question 16. Oh, 16 of 24. Male, 40 to 45 from Sydney, Australia. My girlfriend is 43 and I'm 44, and we've been together for a little over 16 years. Wow. Somebody do the math. What is that, 20 something? Lately, I've started to notice that she's self conscious about the fact that we're in our 40s and still girlfriend, boyfriend. Whenever we're invited somewhere and meet new people, she introduces me as her quote friend or completely avoids mentioning that we're in a relationship. When I confronted her about it, she said it's humiliating and, quote, we're not teenagers, and got emotional. I feel bad because she's always wanted to get married and have kids and probably resents me and thinks I've wasted her time. But I just don't see the point of marriage. What to do? That's why your motherfucking ass is a boyfriend. Own it. Okay, that's what you wanted. You didn't want to be a husband. You wanted to be a boyfriend. And so, but then now she's saying you just her friend because she's 40 in her 40s and you don't go around saying, oh, this is my boyfriend, like you're 14. That's why you get called a friend. You don't like it, then elevate your status to husband, and then that problem is solved. Trifling piece of shit. Be sitting up there. She good because I would have left your ass. If you wouldn't be keeping me from getting what I wanted in life. I mean, I'm going to get it. I wasn't married. Get it from you. I'm going to get it from somebody. But now she's in her 40s, so she want to have kids and stuff. It's too late now. They all could adopt, I guess. But, yeah, you kept her from having her dream. Late 20s, that's what I thought. But my brain is soggy and I don't feel like doing math. But you lucky she introduces you as a friend. I'd be like, oh yeah, this clown out, this some motherfucker. I don't know who this idiot is. Stuff like that would be coming out of my mouth, and you wouldn't even get the status of friend because friends don't treat people like this. And she got emotional. She should leave your ass. That's what she should do. I bet you she left him, but he would want to get married then. But see, he's no point in him when he don't need a point of marriage because she's staying and she's getting everything that he wants out the situation. So she should leave him and go date other people and see how her life pans out. Question number 17, female 25 to 29 from Christchurch, New Zealand. I just got back together with my boyfriend after he said he regretted breaking up. We're planning to meet at some point for a few days for a city break, and he is booking accommodations and paying for flights. He said he would treat me once we were there. How do I make sure that he does and doesn't take me for granted? And I felt I put more into the relationship than him, and I just don't want him to do that again. So why are you getting back? Why are you doing this then? I treated him more when we went out before we broke up, and now I feel as though I deserve the same back. He said he would treat me on a shopping trip. How do I make sure that happens? I want to have eggplant, of course, but I don't know if that will make him less likely to buy me things. Yep. I know I sound demanding, but he said he would, and honestly, I deserve it. I just don't want to be disappointed if he is cheap, even though he makes more than me. Can you give me some practical tips for making sure he spoils me this time? Yes, before you get on the plane, go shopping first. So you need clothes for the trip. You need new makeup, and you need a new bag, and you need new shoes. And then you get all the stuff, and then you put it in a suitcase, and not all of it. You put half of it in a suitcase, and then you take it on the trip with you, so you can look cute on the trip. And then, he's by buying the hotel, he's paying for the hotel and all that kind of stuff. Make sure you don't bring any money. I wouldn't bring shit. I wouldn't bring a red cent. It's like, oh, well, you said you was treating, so I guess that's what's happening. Because the reservations is in your name, not mine. I'm not paying for anything. But I don't know. See, my thing is this. once I break, he broke up with you, right? And then he claims he regretted. You know why he regrets it? Because the bitch he broke up with you for, it didn't work out. So here he comes back because he knows that you still like him. So what you're supposed to do is tell him, no, 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 no. Take your happy ass on over there to where you were, the person that you left me for. Go on back over there to her. That's what you need to do. And that's what you should have told him. So then all of this drama that you having right here and this anticipated drama and future drama and possible drama, you wouldn't be concerned about that because you'd be living your happy life over there dating somebody else, hanging with your friends, and having a good time with your 25 to 29-year-old self. You're too young for this. You act like he's the only man on the planet. He's a knucklehead. He just doing all that because he can get some booty. I don't know. I wouldn't be going personally. Yeah, I don't go back. I don't go to ex. I don't go back to exes. I don't know. I tell you, they just cease to exist. And then when I see them, I just want to run them over with my car. That's that's my favorite thing to do. I just want to run them down. It's the idea of them being squished under my wheels. It just excites me. I just want to see that. I just want to see them all bent up in traction somewhere, like they show in the movies. The people be on traction and they be all like that, and they be all covered in bandages and stuff. I want them to look like that. That's what I keep thinking, and I just like, wow, that just is so beautiful. It's so beautiful to me. That's what I want. I'm not trying to be back with them fools. Yeah, they are dead to me until I see them, and then I want to run them over to with my car. I don't think about them or nothing. But when I see them, then it's like it comes back. And it's like, oh, yeah, that's that motherfucker. Let me run that motherfucker over. Worse than that, exes are like picking up somebody else's poop. Why would you do that? Let's move on to question number 18. This is a female in the 22 to 25 age group from Green Bay. My ex admitted that he has feelings for me, but the feelings, quote, don't lead back to a relationship. Hmm. Wordmeister. What do I do? We have stayed close friends since the breakup 8 months ago and exist in a strange friendship that looks more like a relationship in many ways. We spend lots of time together, communicate in a very boyfriend girlfriend way, and engage in lots of emotional intimacy. That's because you're stupid. He has a girlfriend. He has had a girlfriend since we broke up, but I have not dated anyone. Is it time to walk away? I still love him. I don't know what to do. He is one of the very closest people to me and has provided an immense amount of emotional support through some rough things I've been through this last year. I've told him 4 times now I can't continue like this, and every time I end up running back for more. Yeah, he is getting his cake and eating it too, but so am I. It's almost like a drug, and I don't know how to break this cycle. I would love to give things another chance, but he's made it clear that's not in the cards. I also recognize it's holding me back from opening myself up to the idea of dating someone new. I feel a little lost about it. Yeah, because you dumb. Like I said, what you're doing is, you just like the side piece. You just a booty call. That's what you've done. You have set yourself up to be the booty call of your ex. So he gets to keep all the benefits of having you still emotionally tied to him, sleeping with him, hanging with him, providing free companionship and all stuff, but no commitment at all. And he's told you to your face he don't want you. So see, to me, your pride as a woman, your pride as a person should be what's guiding your choices here. But it's like you don't have any. You don't have any. You none. So you just keep going back to this for more, just kissing up to him like he's the only man on this planet. I dude straight told her he don't want her. How much? And she says 4 times. She's like, I can't continue to do it. But every time I end up running back for more, he knows he got you by the nose. And so you think a man can respect a woman who has no pride for herself? They don't respect you. They just use you, honey. That's what's happening here. So you thinking that, you want to try again and stuff, that's not going to happen. He doesn't respect you at all. You know why? Because you don't respect yourself. Yep. Yep. This is really sad. You know, feel a little lost about it. You need to look in the mirror and figure out where your self esteem is and then pull it out and put it on and stop doing this. Find somebody else. Question number 19, female 225 from Odessa, Texas. I'm 21. Basically, I can't do anything without some male guidance. For example, I can't make any decisions unless my older male cousins, friends or cousins or siblings approve of it. I always feel like I'm going to do it wrong if I do it myself. What the fuck is wrong with me? This is really irritating because I feel like a puppet whose decisions are taken by other people, the older men in my life. It's frustrating I can't decide and choose for myself because I'm afraid it will go wrong. But I feel like if they decide for me, it will probably be the correct decision. Any advice on how I can change this to stop depending on men for everything? Yes, you have to. This is goofy. You're one of those people that wants to be perfect. Your self-esteem is in the toilet. You feel like you have to be perfect or it's all wrong and it's all bad. It's like you don't give yourself room to make any mistakes in life. Do you know that's the only way that you grow and learn and develop confidence as a person is by trying things? Sometimes you succeed and sometimes you fail. But either way, you learn something about yourself because of the struggle that you went through to make that, to try. To try. You put forth energy and effort. You put yourself into it. You're not doing that. So you're just living like a barnacle, other people living off of other people while they decide you should do with your life. At some point, young lady, you're going to wake up and realize that you don't know who you are. You have no self direction. You have no self confidence. You have no self esteem. There's nothing about you that someone, a man of confidence, would want because of the fact that you are like a sponge, just attaching yourself to someone for them to rule your life. I mean, there might be some abusive types of dudes that would love that, but key word there is abusive because a man who's not is going to want a partner who's functioning as a fully independent individual, and that's not you. So I'm going to suggest that you stop doing that and start giving yourself permission to make a mistake. Start small. Whatever it is that you want to ask somebody the next time, don't do it. You think about it. Get online. Do your research yourself. Look on Google. Google your friend. Okay, and read up on whatever it is that you're trying to learn about, and you make a decision. Now, guess what? If you make a decision that it happens to not be the very best one, will you die? The answer to that is no. So therefore, it's making a mistake, short of death, there's nothing that's not fixable, changeable, can't be modified, can't be done over. So there's no reason for you to have all this angst about it has to be right. It has to be perfect. That's the only thing I can tell you. You're going to have to start small and realize that you can survive a mistake, and then your confidence will grow, and then you can do it more and more and more. But you've got to make that first step, and you got to make that first mistake, and you got to let yourself have permission to do something wrong and then recover from it. Question 21, female, 21 to 25, Oklahoma City. Recently, I was harassed by a student. I'm 23 and he's 22. I used to go to college with him. He's still at the college, but I'm pursuing a course elsewhere. We were having a heated argument after which I blocked him on WhatsApp. He repeatedly sent me hateful emails from anonymous accounts and threatened to leak private conversations in creative ways. I complained to the college, but they made an excuse and dismissed the case. My abusive ex, a 23-year-old male, is supporting this guy, and that even makes me madder. Wake up angry, and several times during the day I feel random bouts of anger, so much that it's chipping away at my mental health. I'm angry at everyone. My ex, who thought he could beat me up and didn't stand up for me, even when I gave him a lot of chances that he didn't deserve. The person who sent me harassing emails, the administration, men in general. I also find myself making elaborate revenge plans, usually involve beating them up or flooding their inbox with hate mail like he did to me. Of course, I'm not going to do it, but any advice on how to not let it get? Why not do it? Like I said, I am a firm believer in mirroring behaviors. So see this dude, okay, let me tell you how this would have went down with me. Okay, so we're having a heated argument. You blocked him, and he sent you hateful emails from anonymous accounts. You can't do that. Send him back, call him a little dick motherfucker. You just a bitch made punk. All kind of stuff. I would have said all kind of stuff about him. You can't fuck, you can't screw, you can't talk, you're ugly, nobody wants you, you have a fucked up attitude. I would have said all kind of crazy stuff to him. And said it like, my name is Sheila. You can go on all these different free email sites. Go on different ones and just set up an email account and just blast him. Just send him all kind of shit. Just like he was doing you. Okay? Send them pictures of men that have little shrimpy dicks. Say, look, this is your brother. This is your twin. Yeah, I would do. I would wear him out. Just you gonna think you gonna be trying to like hurt me through some email or something? Oh no, I have friends who are programmers. I will robo email your ass. You'll get 500 emails a day from different email addresses. How about that? You want to see? We gonna have a competition? I want to see who can send each somebody the most emails. I'm going to win, son. I will blow your email box up. And so then, you complain to the college. Well, what would you do that for? What was they supposed to do about it? And how did your abusive ex find out about it? What'd you tell him for that for? That's your business. You should have never told him that. See, you set yourself up for just having a big mouth. Going around telling people all the stuff. You don't talk about the stuff. You just do the dirt right back to him, and then you up the ante. Now, I'm not going to say what the ante is because let me stop talking. Because then we start edging into criminal activity. But, I don't have those kind of boundaries. I would fix his ass. Mm. And then, of course, you're angry. You're angry because you know that you're not standing up for yourself as you should be. You know you're not taking action. You don't get mad, you get even. Okay? That's why you mad. So you figure that out, what you could do to get him back, and then you start putting your plan in motion. Okay? And you'll be right. You watch how well you sleep and wake up in the morning singing and shit. Like, oh, I hear the sound of music. And you just gonna be all happy and just all skipping and shit because you got even with his ass. That's how you have to do clowns like this. They feel powerful because they intimidate women. And so that's why you create emails like you're a man, an email address like you're a dude. Motherfucker, I'll find you and beat your punk ass down. Say all kind of foul shit. And he'll think it's some dude that's gonna be looking for him. I got a picture of you, motherfucker. I know where you work. I know where you go to school. I'm gonna be looking for you and you better hide. Stuff like that. Scare his ass. Of course they do, because all they do is just want to be trying to bully somebody and scare you. But I don't scare easy. I'll be like, oh, is that what we doing? That's what we doing now? Okay. Let's move on to question number 22. Oh, we don't have 22. She made a comment. 24. We have 23. Female, 30 to 35, from what? Ewell? I don't know. Ewell, Surrey, England. I remember you say that you were a personal trainer for 15 years. Do you have any food suggestions or tips on what I can eat to improve my entire life of bad eating habits? Wait, are you in the 30 to 35 age group? Or what I should aim to be eating like? I'm almost 30. I see. 125 pounds and I have two kids. I don't care about my kangaroo pouch. It's sexy to me. But that pooch is fed on donuts, crackers, and coffee. We are turning our garage into a gym soon. We even already have stuff on the way. All I eat and all I have eaten my entire life is basically junk food, fast food. Sometimes I don't eat at all. My constant habit of not eating enough or right and occasionally starving means that most of the time I don't know when or if I'm hungry. That's bad, I know. I'll probably be aiming more towards powerlifting and might switch my focus later. No, you're not going to power lift because you don't have no muscle. You skipping meals and you eating this kind of stuff, your body fat percentage is probably high as hell because you have no lean body tissue. And you got two kids, and this is how you ate while you were pregnant? Do you know that your bones, you should probably go to the doctor and have your bone scan done and see how solid your bone structure is because I'm betting that you've lost a lot of bone mass from these pregnancies and from this poor nutrition. Okay, do that first. Because one thing you don't want to do is start hefting around some weights, and you got brittle bones. Osteopenia. That's the precursor to osteoporosis. And with some people eat like this, especially if you're of European descent, the chances are that you have already suffered bone loss, and it will show in your posture. Usually, women lose it here, so they get that what they call dowager's hump. That hump like this, because that's where they start losing bone mass. Girl, I'm gonna tell you this. I'm gonna suggest I don't want to, do this kind of stuff on the advice show. So what I'm gonna tell you though is make an appointment. Go have your doctor make an appointment with you with a nutritionist at through your medical thing, and to tell them what your plan is, how you've been eating, and they will set you up on a nutrition program that's gonna include fresh fruits, fresh vegetables. Probably dairy products because they love dairy products. And I don't mess with dairy products, but most people do. And then a balance of lean proteins and stuff like that to get your body, your health back. Your body, even though you're still young and you're not about to be showing the effects of it yet. The fact that you've had two pregnancies and you were providing your body with such poor nutrition, your body is depleted to get those fetuses, because they're like little parasites. I say that all the time. They're going to take nutrition they need from your lean tissue, your organs, and your bones. So go take yourself to the doctor first before you touch even one piece of a weight, okay? Because otherwise your ass will end up in traction some damn where. That will not be cute. Broken bones and fucked up joints. Question number 23. This is our last question of the day. Oh, and I thought of something else. You probably have a lot of constipation too, eating all that fiber poor food. You're not eating fresh fruits and vegetables. You don't have any fiber. That's the only thing that makes you feel full and pushes, that waste out. You not eating that, that means you're full of shit, literally. Question number 23, female 30 to 35 out of San Francisco. I've been dating a guy what will now be 6 weeks, 7 next week. So far, it's going really well. I just moved here a few months ago, so I don't really have family or too many friends yet. Last Friday, he introduced me to some of his closest friends, and this Saturday, I'll be meeting more of his friends. My mother is coming to visit me from Texas next week and will be staying with me for 5 days. Naturally, I probably won't see him while she's here. However, I was thinking perhaps I could invite him to dinner with my mom one of those days. I normally wouldn't introduce anyone I'm dating less than 3 months to my family, but I feel being that I don't live where my family is, my mom will probably only visit me once a year, I should take advantage of the opportunity. I certainly don't want to make him feel pressured to go out with us as it could be too soon for him. Do you find a week, 6 weeks is too soon, or should I worry about it? I feel with I feel with him introducing me to his friends has kind of opened that door. Oh, there are 24 questions. It was stuck. These pages were stuck together. Okay, I'm gonna say this. Can we just ask him, or is that a concept that's so foreign we never considered it? Can we just say, hey, I know we haven't been dating that long, but my mom's coming to town. She'll be here for 5 days. I didn't know how you would feel about meeting her, so I want to let you know that she's here and give you that option so you don't feel like I'm just excluding you, intentionally because I'm not. But I do understand you might feel like it's a little too soon to meet my mother or something, but since I met some of your friends, I thought, I would just give you this option. What do you say? I was thinking about maybe, inviting you to dinner with us or something, kind of casual, and then we could all have a meal together. What do you think? Something like that, and you leave it up to him to decide. You don't decide and make all these plans around him and doing all this thinking for him and all this stuff. All this. Just ask him what he's more comfortable with. Let him decide if he wants to do that or not, and make sure you don't hold any animosity towards him either way. If he wants to come, you be happy, but you're not gonna put too much on it. And if he doesn't want to come, you gonna still be happy because you're with your mama, and you're not gonna put too much on it. He'll meet her later, right? So either way, just be cool about it. But extend him the invitation. It'll be rude, very rude, and it would send a very negative message if he finds out that your mother's here and you didn't extend an invitation to him to meet her. He, put it in his hands if he's comfortable with that or not. Let him decide. Okay? And then you just roll with whatever he says. And our final question of the day. This is question number 24 of What the Fuck Tuesday on Tuesday, April 13th. This is a young lady in a 26 to 29 age group from Joliet. Is that how you say that? Illinois. I've noticed the more I hang out on dating sites, the more turned off I am by compliments. As soon as a guy says you're attractive, it's never a compliment on anything but looks. I can feel internal walls going up like, oh no, here we go again. And I want to leave the conversation. This is really holding me back because I start looking for any excuse to stop talking to them. Do you have any tips on how to stay out of this mindset? No, why would you stay out of it? Because it's true. See, one thing Deb deals with is reality. Okay, you will never hear bullshit, smokescreen, kumbaya stuff come out of my mouth. Not on this show. I might do that when I'm being Leandra, doing my Leandra things. But But other than that, I'm gonna tell you the solid 100% real. And in a case like this, if a guy is all he has to say is something about your looks, then that shows you where he is. He's just a booty hound. He can't even hide it. They don't even have any kind of finesse. That's all they're going to talk about is what you look like. It's so stupid. And it's like, a dude who's a real player knows not to do that. So all these dudes who are coming out like that are dweebs, rank amateurs, and so anxious to get their dick wet that they can't even hold it in. They have no like strategy. They have no game. And it's like, if dude who has game, let me tell you how this is gonna go. Even if he does eventually want to get the pussy, he's got enough sense to know that you don't rush in guns blazing. You'd be like, oh, I was reading your profile and, it seems like we have a lot of stuff in common. He going to talk all around your looks. He knows that okay, as adults, as women, we already know that you find us attractive. That's why you click that button to send a message. That's why you ask for our number. All these kind of things happen because you liked what you saw. Are women stupid? We already know that. So for you to be a redundant duck and come up saying, "Oh, you're attractive," like like we didn't know, that's one of the things I'd be like saying, like I know. So, what's that got to do with you? I know I'm fine. What's that? What? You don't got nothing else to say? And then they start stuttering because they don't have nothing else to say. That's their only line. And you got these dudes in their 50s and stuff, and they still be talking like that. I was so disappointed to find that out. That's all they conversation. Oh, you're so beautiful. You're so this, you're so that. And I'm like, okay, do you have anything else to say other than that? I mean, that shit might have worked when I was 16. I doubt it would even work then, but I'm just saying I would say that to them. That might have worked when I was 16, but it's not going to work now. What are you doing? You have no conversation? Yeah, I'm just like, oh, dudes, really? Ooh, they right. Conversation is so whack, and then they don't even understand. It's like it's such a turnoff to be talking to a man, and that's all he's got to say, or he gonna talk about some stupid shit like sports and stuff that don't nobody give a fuck about. It's like if you the owner of the team, then I can see you wanting to talk about it, but you're not, and nobody cares. Okay, eh, that's not conversation. It's not gonna be stimulating to a woman's ears that you're trying to get to know. So I can see, a whole bunch of men need somebody to teach them how to date. At one point, I was going to start offering courses, and then I decided I didn't want to be bothered because they get on my nerves too much. They just say stupid shit. I did a couple of workshops for men here in Oakland, and I just about ran up out of there. I could not believe how stupid these guys were, and some of them had been married. You know, and the guy whose house was hosting the last one, he was a more an older guy, and his wife called him from upstairs. He put everything down and jumped up and went to see what she was wanted, right? And while he was gone, the dudes that was there was making fun of him and talking about how he was whipped and it was on her apron strings, this and that, right? And so he came back and they started ribbing him. This guy, he had to be about 60 or so at this time. This was a long time ago. And he stood up in front of all them little knuckleheads that whose women left him and didn't want to, he couldn't find nobody. And he told them, that is my wife. That is the woman, the mother of my children, and we've been together for like 35 years or something. And he said, we're older people now, and I don't know what's going on upstairs. When my wife calls me to come right now, I go because I don't know what's going on. Did she cut herself? Is she bleeding? Is she having a heart attack? Is she having a stroke? What happened? I need to be there to make sure that my baby is safe. And he shut that shit straight smooth down. Them brothers didn't say nothing. They was looking all embarrassed. And the dude was so disgusted with him. Because I had told him during the break, I was like, this crew really ain't ready for what I'm talking about. And he's like, oh, give him a chance, and that. But when they did that to him later, he knew what I was talking. He got to see it. And so he was like, oh, don't worry, because I was supposed to do a 3 series, 3 things with him. He paid me the money and told me not to, don't bother coming back. And so that was that. And that was the last one, the workshop I did for men. And after that, I decided I don't want to be bothered no more because something's wrong with them. They don't think right when it comes to women. Their concepts of what women and a partnership is like and how they should talk to women and treat women is so fucked up. And it's like, you're trying to address that and correct it in a 2-hour workshop. It's not going to happen. So I felt like I was going to be too frustrated and be hating them all by the time I left. So I just did decide not to do it anymore. So that was the long and the short of that. But anyway, we will be back on Friday, right? Because we're doing it. So this Friday, I'll be here. Last Friday, I had to jump up and dip out real quick and at the last minute. Sorry about that. But, things be happening in the real world. So be here on Friday, same time for Flummox Friday relationship advice. Will we continue through the end of May, and then we'll start going into, oh no, June 4th. It is the last one, and then we'll go into the Dusty News Network programming. I will see all of you on Friday night. Bring your drink and be ready.